day 199 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at freeCodeCamp. We are in roughly the heart of the basic JavaScript section. I'm not exactly sure how many items we've knocked off the list, but there we go. Just about from the beginning of the basic JavaScript section to the fold of the page, if you will, for lack of a better phrase. So right around there, and yeah, good times. Quoting stuff. We are on escaping, the webcam's in the way, something escaping literal quotes in strings. Good times. Okay, so did we have anything else we needed to clear before we dove into today's stream? I don't believe so. Let's do a quick rundown, checking things off. We've got mic audio, webcam. That's right. We do have chat, but the darkness. Yes, we're all absorbing, looking, observing. The light went out. The light bulb died. Usually we have the lights off when it's late at night and the missus is sleeping and whatnot, but no. Instead, we're doing an early stream, so that's different. It is 2:39 in the middle of the day right now, and yeah, the light's dead, so we get to stream the darkness, forging on through said darkness. I guess we could have opened the blinds or the window. No, that's crazy talk. Plus, I heard the sun causes cancer, so let's stay cloaked in darkness, and we will continue forging ahead, avoiding the light. Shall we? Do. Something about something. Yes, from the top. Breaking new ground. Day 199. Let's shove off. Escaping literal quotes in strings. When you're defining a string, you must start and end with a single or double quote. What happens when you need blankety blank? Hold on, don't mind me. I just realized. What happens if you do a single and a double quote? Does that throw some error? Like so? See, single and single, blah, blah, blah. I know we wouldn't put that in quotes here, but what happens when you do single and double like that? Because that's weird. I get that one would do single quotes inside double quotes, and or vice versa. That would be fairly normal, but mixing mismatched pairs? That seems wrong. Anyways, that was tripping me up as I was reading through their little anecdote. So what's going down? What happens when you need a literal quote, double or single, inside of your string? In JavaScript, you can escape a quote from considering it as an end of string quote by placing / in front of the quote. Variable, sample string, quote, Ellen said, Peter is learning JavaScript, double quote, double quote. Also, as a side note, at least I think it works this way. It's one of the upsides of using, or at least starting with double quotes, is that if you were to convert to single quotes, so you're starting with a double here on the outside, and they're using double again, so you would escape it. I don't know, maybe it's bad practice, but I think you can use single quotes and not have to escape. Just a hunch. I could have sworn I've utilized that before elsewhere. Crazy person, still learning. Only day 199 on our coding journey, so take it with a grain of salt, but could have sworn that was a thing. We can check it out here. Anywho, variable, sample, string, double quotes, Ellen said, cancel, double quotes, Peter's learning JavaScript, cancel, double quote, period, double quote. This signals to JavaScript that the following quote is not the end of the string, but should instead appear inside the string. So if you were to print this to the console, you would get Alan said Peter's learning JavaScript. Instructions. Use backslashes to assign a string to the myString variable so that if you were to print it to the console, you would see I am double quoted strings inside double quotes. Aha! So the cancellation is if you want to see specifically double quoted stuff instead of the single quote example we were discussing earlier. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and get our quote on. Yeah, getting quotey. Something about something. Where are we putting it? Instructions use backslashes. Blah blah blah. My string. If you were to print something, something, so forth, and something, change this line equals double quotes, blankety blank, double quote. And we're pasting and we're slashing. Forward or backward slash? Forward slash, right? That's a forward slash. Yeah. Forward. Okay. We are making progress. Barely. I think that's relatively good. They wanted us to do console log and print it. Use backslashes to assign the string so that if you were to print to the console log, you would see. So all we're doing is setting it up. We aren't actually running console log, blah. So let's run it. It's on like Donkey Kong. Sure, it could be, if they want it to be. Quoting strings with single quotes. String values in JavaScript may be written with single or double quotes, so long as you start and end with the same type of quote. Look at that. It's like they were reading our minds, damn it. Unlike some languages, single and double quotes are functionally identical. Whoa. They're functionally identical in JavaScript. This string, double quotes in it. The value in using one or the other has to do with the need to escape quotes of the same type. Unless they are escaped, you cannot have more than one pair of whichever quote type begins a string. If you have a string with many double quotes, this can be difficult to read and write. Instead of using single quotes, aha, see. Now, their example is reversed. They're starting with single quotes, which is a clever way in case you needed double quotes on the inside versus double quotes on the outside and wanting single quotes on the inside. Fair enough. Instructions, change the provided string from double to single, remove the escaping. Okay. We are in an escape-free zone. Double quotes. Set to stun. Something about something. So yeah, this doesn't feel right at all. That's hot. Target stuff. That would be in quotes, so that won't need that. And this would be in quotes, so this won't need that. Oh god, bad Steven. Deleting the wrong things. Are we good? Feels relatively okay. That needs to be changed. Good. Can we live with that? Do we survive? We live to fight on. In another item, off the hook. Hey, what's that, little cat? You're stretching? Off the hook. Submitting escape sequences in strings. Quotes are not the only characters that can be escaped inside a string. Here's a table of common escape sequences. Code, blankety blank, output, blah, 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 blah. You know what? We should read all that stuff. We really should. Some dude or lady person was hired to write this out, and we're just glossing over it. So let's reflect on their hard work, shall we? So, slash, single quote, gives us a single quote. Slash, double quote, gives us double. Slash, slash, gives us our backslash. Is that really a backslash? So backslash leans backwards. Forward slash leans forwards. Is that the difference? So it's which side it's leaning to. Although I guess for the webcam purposes, this would count as forward slash from your perspective, backwards for mine, and this would count as backward slash forwards for mine. Good, good. Okay. Slash N, new line. That's cool. Slash R, carriage return. Wow. Carriage return, as in like typewriter? Like ting, and then it goes back? That's gotta be what they're referring to for the carriage bit. T tab, B, backspace, and F form feed. I don't actually know what's happening. It's been 199 days and I haven't ever had to do slash N or slash R, T, B, or F, but apparently those are things worth discussing, which is, I suppose that's good to know. Note that the backslash itself must be escaped in order to display a backslash. Backslash itself. Yes, yeah, this guy right here. 2 backslashes. We're gonna need 2 dragons. Instructions. Assign the following 3 lines of text into the single variable myString using escape sequences. First line, second line, third line. You will need to escape sequences to insert special characters correctly. You will also need to follow the spacing as it looks above, with no spaces between escapes, sequences, or words. Here is the text with the escape sequence written out. Blah, blah, blah. Well, weren't we supposed to figure it out? What's the good in them telling us, unless they hide it behind the quote? Here's the text sequence written out. First line, new line, backslash. Second line, backslash, carry. Oh, that's the general idea of it. Now we get to actually put in the slashes ourselves. Nah, whatever. Oh, they're telling us what they want to see. We get to put in the punctuation. Or the proper syntax. That makes sense. Okay, so let's copy this. Let's do myString equals... Can we do double quotes? Let's do double quotes. Paste that in. We've got first line. Then new line is... slash N. Yes. Then we've got backslash, which is 2 backslashes, slash slash, second line, backslash, carriage, return. Oh no, backslash, which is slash slash, followed by carriage return, which is its own separate beast, which is slash R, backslash R. And then third line, let's give that a run. And we're running, and we're running. It's alive. It's alive. Beautiful. Good times. Okay. Concatenating strings with plus operator. In JavaScript, when the plus operator is used with a string value, it's called the concatenation operator. You can build a new string out of other strings by concatenating them together. My name is Alan plus I concatenate. Watch out for spaces. Concatenation does not add space between concatenated strings, so you'll need to add them yourself. Instructions. Build my string from the strings. This is the start, space, and this is the end, using the plus operator. So now we get to do that here. And we can take blankety blank and blankety blank. Dee 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 da. Doo dee doo dee 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 dee. La da da dee 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 dee. It's on like Donkey Kong, and we're submitting and heading on to the next item. Beautiful. From the top, concatenating strings with the plus equals operator. We can also use the plus equals operator to concatenate a string onto the end of an existing string variable. This can be very helpful to break a long string over several lines. Note, watch out for spaces. Concatenation does not add spaces between concatenated strings, so you'll need to add them yourself. Instructions. Build my string over several lines by concatenating these two strings. This is the first sentence, and this is the second sentence. Okay. Using the blankety blank operator, very similar to what we have here. I come first. Our string plus equals I come second. So build my string over several lines. So it will be my string equals initially, so forth and such and such. Good, good. Copying and pasting. And then we have my string again. Oh. Cool. And, oh, no, plus equals, followed by, this is our second sentence. Look at that. How cool is that? Let's get that in there with a semicolon to boot. And we're running. A winner is you. Look at that. Success. We are continuing to make progress. Kind of cool. 141 items down in freeCodeCamp so far. And it's only been... What has it been? It's been something. 18? Today's the 18th? Yeah, day 199. So, 18 days. Not bad. Not bad at all. And technically, minus the, 4, so... Actually, I don't know if that one may have just been stream time for when we completed an activity. We may have started at like 11:57 knowing us and didn't complete anything until, you know, like 12:05. I don't know how their scoring works and whatnot, but these 3 were probably the project days at CodePen, I think. God, I'm not too sure. Or we were doing Code Wars, who knows? But so we'll chalk it up to 2 days off. We'll call it 16 days overall. 141 things over 16 days so far. We're still making progress here. And are we at the right one? That's appending variables to strings. The second, no. Back one. Constructing strings with variables. All right. Sometimes you will need to build a string Mad Lib style. By using concatenation operator, you can insert one or more variables into a string using building. Whoa. Into a string you're building. English, Stephen. English. Learn to read. Instructions. Set my name to a string equal to your name and build my string with my name between the strings my name is and I am swell. All right. Someone's doing something somewhere. Our name, freeCodeCamp, and then our string. Hello, our name is space, our name, comma, How are you? Monkey see, monkey do equals our name, Steven. Should we do our name or our username? We'll just do Steven for now. We did BDX sync in the last activity. So this should be in quotes, first of all. Equals I kind of feel like we should put a comma in there for good measure. Steven, that's okay. Comma free, because they want what's in the quotes too. So this is one of those balancing acts between what could and should be done real world environment versus what they're looking for in the activity. Run test. They're super pissed. Oh, we forgot to do our name variable. My name variable, more accurately, but name. There we go. Run test. Ta-da! Get to the chopper. Where's Arnold when we need him? Alright. Appending variables to strings. As a side note, it's really warm in this room. It's summer. It's the middle of July. July 18th. It's hot. Usually we're streaming at night, and it is rather toasty at night. Even in the middle of the night during summer, but it's a special kind of hell right now due to the heat. I know we've got a short stream planned, all things considered. I mean, it could turn into some ungodly long one. Oh, look at that. There's the timer to end things. We're going to push on a bit further, since we don't have to stop right this second. But, yeah, it hurts to be in this room, because it's just shy of sweltering. Thought we should all reflect on that. Just throwing that out there. Twitch chat stuff. Good. We had to jump from the alarm back to chat things on our phone. Anywho, appending variables to strings in hell. Just as we can build a string over multiple lines, out of string literals, we can also append variables to a string using the += operator. Instructions: set some adjectives and append it to the myString using the += operator. What? myString something some adjectives. Oh, that's literally it. Cool. So this would be myString, quite literally. += some adjective. Oh god, I must have spelt it wrong like an idiot. No. Something dark something. Some adjective should be set to a string at least 3 characters long. Aha! We need to turn it into an adjective. Right. Good. myString learning to code is... Wow, there's so many words we could put into this one string. We'll keep it positive and call it interesting. There's a lot of other choice words we'd like to cram in there, but, yes. Unexpected string. Did I spell it wrong? Did they want punctuation? They have punctuation in the other one. I spelled interesting wrong. There's lack of an equal sign. Good. We're going to change this wow, God. This is, everything hurts. The heat's getting to us. We're going to change the exclamation point to a question mark. Yeah, that seems more appropriate. Pikachu chooses you in his infinite confusion. Learning to code is interesting, kind of. Yeah, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. All right, find the length of a string. You can find the length of a string value by writing .length. That's really interesting they waited this long. Did they wait this long to teach us this, or did they go over that in the HTML course as well here? Huh. Maybe it was just Codecademy. I feel like they went over the .length thing extremely early on in both even the HTML course and the JavaScript course at Codecademy. And even, I feel like, some other places I've seen. I feel like the .length is sort of the go-to example of clever things that could be done. What are we looking for? So, you can find the length of a string value by writing .length after the string variable or string literal. Alan Peter .length comes out to 10. For example, if we create a variable first name, Charles, we could find out how long the string Charles is by using the first name .length property. Instruction: use the .length property to count the number of characters in the last name variable and assign it to the last name equal death. From the top of instructions, use the .length property to count the number of characters in the last name variable and assign it to the last name length. There we go. Example, blah, 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 followed by blah. First name, blah, 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 .length, setup, 0. Lovelace, one of those. Only change the code below this line. Last name length equals last name .length. Just a shot in the dark. Shouldn't there be, like, quotey things? Or, not quotes, parentheses and so forth and such. Even Honey Badger cares. Sure. I feel like there's a lack of parentheses in this world. I guess there isn't. I guess it's just .length. I must be thinking of other things like .split and whatnot. Wow. So we've added to our dent, but there's still so much more to explore. I don't know if tomorrow we'll have more time to commit to the stream. The last couple days it's been rather difficult to find time due to scheduling, but let's do at least this and maybe one or two more. Use bracket notation to find the first character in a string. Bracket notation is a way to get a character at a specific index within a string. Most modern programming languages like JavaScript don't start counting at 1 like humans do. They start at 0. This is referenced as zero-based indexing. For example, the character at index 0 with the word Charles is C. So if variable first name equals Charles, you can get the value of the first letter of the string by using first name 0. Instructions: use bracket notation to find the first character in the last name variable and assign the first letter of the last name. And assign it to the first letter of the last name. Hint, try looking at the first letter of the first name variable declaration if you get stuck. Blankety blank, last name, something about brackets. Brackets, you idiot, not curly braces. Brackets, and 0 again. Ta-da! And you're all out of gum. Is that a good thing? That's got to be a reference to something, and I am totally unfamiliar with it. Understand string immutability. In JavaScript, string values are immutable, which means they cannot be altered once created. For example, the following code: variable myString equals Bob, myString 0 equals J? What the oh. My string 0 equals J, that won't update Bob and turn it into job. Cannot change the value of my string to job because the contents of my string can't be altered. Note that this does not mean that my string can't be changed, just that individual characters of a string literal can't be changed. The only way to change my string would be to assign it with a new string like this. Variable, my string Bob, my string equals job. Ta-da! Sort of a hammer to kill a gnat situation. Everyone goes under. All for the sake of Jay's well-being. Instructions. Correct the assignment to my string to achieve the desired effect. Something about Jello. We're changing it to H. Clever. Variable my string Jello world. Only change the code below this line to hell yeah, Jello world. That's not what we're changing it to. We are going to be changing it to my string variable? No. Just no bracket notation. Just my string is hello world. Ta-da, dee-dee-dee-bee-dee-dee-dee. Good times. Let's run the test. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Gotta code them all. Got to code them all. Okay. I think I've made a satisfactory dent, at least for myself, today, so far. A good, quick stream just to make some more progress, keep things flowing here at freeCodeCamp. Good times. All right, let's go ahead, back out of this noise. What do we have on the horizon for tomorrow? That is quite a bit. I don't think we'll be able to knock out all of JavaScript out tomorrow. I'm hopeful to do a long stream tomorrow. Again, the last couple days, scheduling's been interesting, trying to squeeze the stream in. So hopefully we will have a decent chunk of time to dedicate to it. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and back at... You know what? No. We're at 146. Let's push to 150. Hopefully we have time to keep forging ahead. We already went past the timer a while ago, but let's keep going. Frankly, just because. So, use bracket notation to find the nth character in a string. You can use bracket notation to get the character at the other positions within a string. Remember that computers start counting at 0, so the first character is actually the 0th character. Instructions. Let's try to set third letter of last name to equal the third letter of the last name variable using bracket notation. Hint, try looking at the second letter of first name variable declaration if you get stuck. First name, Ada, second letter, first name, 1, last name, Lovelace, third letter, which would be the second element. The third element would be 2, if we're 0 indexing. Ta-da, beep-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Even sad panda smiles. These are facts. Use bracket notation to find the last character in a string. In order to get the last character of a string, you can subtract 1 from the string's length. For example, variable first name Charles, you can get the value of the last letter of the string using first name, last name, dot length minus 1. Instructions. Use bracket notation to find the last character of the last name variable. Try looking at blah, blah, blah. First name dot length minus 1. So we will do in brackets last name dot length, forgot that bit, minus 1. And we're running far out indeed. freeCodeCamp, far out indeed. Use bracket notation to find the nth to last character in a string. You can use the same principle we just used to retrieve the last character in a string to retrieve the nth to last character. For example, you can get the value of the third to last character variable first name equals Charles by using first name dot length minus 3. Same song and dance. We're just going to do, try looking for the third to last bracket nonsense. Dot something. Copy. Last name dot length. Yes, yes, minus 3 with a space. No touching. No touching. Something's wrong. Try looking third to last. Blankety blank variable gets stuck. Oh, they want second to last. Right, so minus 2. My bad. My bad. That's selective vision. Tomorrow, the world. Brain. Tomorrow, the world. No. Pinky. Tomorrow, the world. Pinky. At least I think it's Pinky in the brain reference. It's got the same vibe. Does anyone else recall Pinky in the Brain? We've got plans for tomorrow night. What are we doing tomorrow night? Same thing as we do every night. Trying to take over the world? No. The mice and the lab and the stuff. That's okay. What are we looking for? So, we've conquered 149. World blank. World. The L. I saw blanks. Threw an L in here. Word blanks. Ta-da. This will be our last one. Then we'll power down. Word blanks. We will now use our knowledge of strings to build a Mad Lib style word game called... just kidding. We're calling word blanks. You will create an optionally humorous fill-in-the-blanks style sentence. You will need to use string operators to build a new string, result, using the provided variables, my noun, adjective, my verb, and my adverb. You will need to use the additional strings, which will not change and must be in between all of the provided words. The output should be a complete sentence. We have provided a framework for testing your results with different words. The test will run your function with several different inputs to make sure all the provided words appear in the output, as well as your extra strings. Okay. So, word blanks should return a string. They've got 4 potential blanks there. Word blanks, dog big, ran quickly, should contain all of the past in a word separated by non-word characters and any additional words in your Mad Lib. Word blanks, cat little hit slowly, should contain all of the past in words separated by non-word characters and any additional words in your Mad Lib. Okay, so something about something dot something. Function word blanks, my noun, my adjective, my verb, my adverb. Variable results equals your code below this line, your code above this line. Something about results. Change the words here to test your function. Okay. So let's start building from here on. I think there's a lot of instructions here. I feel like they just want us to concatenate all of the potential variables. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So variable results result equals, we should do, I guess we don't need to put it in quotes. Well, we will to some degree. My noun, dog big ran quickly. Okay. The, or a, we'll do the space 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. That's the first. One word, our noun, adjective, my verb, adverb, and anything else we may need. Let's get a semicolon in there just for safe measure. The big dog. So my adjective. Let's get this guy. Copy. The big dog ran quickly. And let's go ahead and run. Why do they not like us? Result is already defined. Yeah, you know, I totally agree. I think it's weird that they always have this thing floating above. That's what confused us yesterday, too. Not only were we struggling with Celsius, but it's the fact that they define the variable beforehand, and then we have to define it again, and they say don't change the code above it. It's just odd. It's weird. I know we're updating it, but it just feels wrong. It feels unnecessary. Right, spaces, you forgetful son of a... God. Yes. So, now let's go ahead and cram spaces between all this stuff. Quote with a space between each. Copy. You know what were the cool... There was a cool command, wasn't there, right? Wasn't it like /s or something? Was that it? No, I don't think that was it. Well, we're gonna run it anyways. Yeah, no, okay. We're just gonna concatenate all this. And we're pasting. And we're pasting. We should have left the plus signs, whatever. The space, big dog, my adjective, plus sign. Space and stuff. My noun, plus sign. Plus sign. My verb, space and things. Space and things, and that. There should also probably be a period, I assume. Should return a string, blankety blankety blank. Yeah, we can do a period at the end. For good measure, and run that. Ta-da! Hasta la vista challenge. Ka-frickin' boom. Alright, there we go. 150 activities down. Items, whatever they refer to them here at freeCodeCamp as. We've got 150 thingies completed. Good times. Okay, so still lots to do in the basic JavaScript section, but so far so good. Way cool. Now we can back out from all of this noise. Close that. What's on the horizon for tomorrow? Store multiple values in one variable using JavaScript arrays. Good times. Who loves arrays? Yay, right? Not that exciting. Not that exciting, but look at this. Kinda cool. 150 things down. And a ton more to do. Fun never ends here at BDX Inc. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who may have stopped by to view the stream. Even if you accidentally stumbled in here, any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 200. There are only 165 more days to go after tomorrow. Very cool. Tons of fun. But in the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.